Hey guys, Zometer here with Third Coast Gaming. I'm here with
Ronald.
What'd you do today, Ronald?
I got first place with the Dogmatika Invoked Eldlich Dragoon.
All right, let's see what this is
Or
about.
died.
Or died?
Yeah, died, yeah. Okay, so starting off, play the monkey man himself, that boy Ali. Already know what he does. On normal summon or flip, he searches his favorite bottle of glue. That glue. Invocation. 2. I thought I messed around with the ratio. 1 sometimes worked out, but sometimes I missed the second one because sometimes they'll have the D.I.E.D Crow in hand and you can't extend, and it kind of just cuts off your whole Invoked Engine. So I believe 2 is the correct engine after testing with 1. And then just 3 more copies of Monkey Man. This is also relevant in this deck too because its effect to only be ashable really for your fusions is very relevant because I play Dragoon, and it helps a lot when they can't hard negate your Dragoon summon. That's it for the Invoked Engine. Didn't play Terraforming, didn't feel like I needed it. So, and then for the Dogmatika Engine, 1 Ecclesia, 1 Floodgates, and 1 Maximus. I was thinking about cutting Maximus for a second Ecclesia, but Maximus does come up because with the card that we'll get to in a minute in the extra deck, it becomes very clutch, and its 3k booty is very relevant. Not a lot of monsters can beat over 3k booty. You can just sit on this a lot of time, and plus this deck is grind game is just naturally grindy as hell. You can sit on this for like 2 turns and get resources. So I believe that's the correct ratio. And then for the rest, just 2 New Servants. Yes, it hurts the consistency a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. And Dogma isn't the main engine of this deck anyway. So when you see it, it's pretty good. When you don't, it's not the end of the world. And the last 2 Dogmatika cards, just 2 punishments. Thought about playing 3, but seeing it's kind of a brick sometimes, so 2 is fine.
Oh yeah, because he searches out the Golden Lord, right?
Then for the Eldlich Package, 2 Golden Lord. Only need 2. Thought about playing 3, even 1 at one point, but second one, very relevant. Need 2. Pretty standard. I only played 2 Eldlich. I feel like the third was bricky. I mean, it's really just 2 more copies of Golden Boy in most situations, so I don't really miss the third one at all. And for the traps, 3 Sanguine, the best trap, honestly. Summons Golden Boy, not much to say. 3 Cottens, don't mind the 2 gold, 1 secret, but second best card in the Eldlich Engine. And then I only played the 1 Hakero. I did not miss the second one at all. It's really just there as a name target, to be honest. I hardly ever use its effect to banish something in grave. It's really, in theory, just there for the DPE matchups. Bait out their DPE, then you banish your DPE in grave, but it really never came up today. No one ever summoned DPE. I guess if someone summoned DPE me, this would have came up a little bit more, but it didn't, so I think 1 is still just fine. Then next engine, 2 Red Eyes Fusion. I thought about playing 3, but I felt like I would see it too much. 2 is definitely right. When they Valor or Imperm your Verde Anaconda for cost, you still have the second one, you can potentially draw it. So 2 Red Eyes Fusion. And then the 2 bricks. 1 Red Eyes, 1 DM.
You're like, here, man, you need this. You need this, bro.
And then, of course, just the 1 Naturalized Fusion. This comes up quite a bit actually today. I won my last game because of this. I summoned the 2nd Dragoon off of this, and I couldn't get over it. And then the 1 Monster Reborn. This is amazing. It helps you get into Verde, or if you're ready to go into Dragoon, just revive your Dragoon. And you can summon Dragoon 3 times in this deck technically, and it's kind of busted. And on to the hand traps. 3 Lancias. I feel like Lancia main is pretty important in this format since almost everything vanishes. It hits a lot of decks. Hits my own deck in the mirror. Helped me a lot in the last round. Only 2 Ash. I didn't feel like I needed the 3rd, and I feel like I see it enough anyway. The only time I really use this is against other Red Eyes Fusions or DPE. Not really many high impact ashable targets right now other than the fusion spells. So only 2. And then the last hand traps, just 3 Imperm. Good overall, going first or second hand trap. Helped a lot in all my matches when I went second. And then, of course, 3 skill drain. This card helped me stay alive in so many games. It actually kind of killed me in the last one when I summoned Dragoon 3 times. So I actually ended up siding out in the last game. But overall, this card is pretty nuts, pretty busted. You summon Dragoon, summon Mechaba, use the Mechaba Dragoon negates first, then you pop this, and they have to play around it. So that's it for the main deck. So going into the extra, it's pretty standard with some little changes. So 2 Mechaba, of course, that's pretty standard. 1 Invoked Goides, and 1 Purgatrio. That's pretty much it for the Invoked lineup. It's all pretty standard. I thought about playing Raijin. It hardly only came up really against Flunderies, but you have Skill Drain. And then going into the best card, 2 Dragoon. Literally wins games on its own. You summon the second one, there's not much they can do about it. They already wasted their resources. And then you can Monster Reborn it back, so you virtually have 3 copies of it. It's pretty nuts. Just 2 Intises. I feel like the second is necessary. So 1 for the punishment and the other for Nadir Servant. And then you can recycle it back. Then the card I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, I feel like 2 Intises. I was playing the 1, but I feel like 2 is necessary. 1 Chimera Flesia, 1 Titaniclad. Titaniclad didn't really come up too much today, but it's nice to have. And then Chimera Flesia, very relevant. Searching Red Eye Fusion on their turn, or Miracleized Fusion if you summoned it already on your turn. It's pretty good. This came in clutch in 2 games of mine, so. Just the 1 Cypher game, Mega. Helps a lot with recycling your Intises. And the links, just 1 Amarage, 1 Secure Gardena, 1 Verde Anaconda, and then my last card that I played was actually the Dark Charmer. So this, in theory, is another way to out DPE. So you bait their negates and you go into this, and then you target their DPE engrave, summon it to your field, and it's just another way to deal with DPE. And it deals with just a bunch of dark monsters in general. So I thought I would take it in. It came up once, but it was negated, so it didn't really do that much. But in theory, if it went off, it would have made the game a little bit more in my favor. All right, and onto the side. 3 Droll. This comes up sometimes. It's really for the rogue matches. It kind of can in turn for rogue. I only sided it 2 times today. Saw it once. It helped me a little bit, but nothing too crazy. 2 Token Collectors. This didn't come up. I mean, I sided it in, didn't see it, but if I did see it, it probably would have helped me a lot. It's just for Sword Soul and PK Brave. Nothing else to say about that. And then 2 evenly matches. This came up twice today, won me both games. Really good card. And then in your outlet, just doesn't really hinder you that much. You just normal summon something, Alistair, they're usually going to negate it anyway. And then you just go to battle phase evenly, then you set up main phase 2. Harpies and Red Reboot. Red Reboot came out today. It was negated, but it still came up. In theory, it would have shut off their whole board if it didn't have a hard negate. I thought I baited it off, but I didn't know they had the other negate on board. So in theory, that would have been in the game, though. Harpy is just for generic back row hate. Never saw it, but it's a good card. 2 TC boosts. This is really just for the Sword Soul matchup, but it can hurt some rogue matchups as well. Also against Flunders, it's kind of okay too. So this came up like. This helped me win the Flunder matchup, so I would say probably gonna keep it aside. 2-dimensional bears, really just for Virtual World, Sword Soul, and Namir, Declare Fusion. And then last in the side, Retrospect, probably should have played 3 of these. 2, I don't know what I cut to the 3rd, but 2 did come up, so that was probably just my luck, but I did end up coming in clutch today, so. Alright, that's it.